We are back live to all of those who are watching from your homes, wherever you may be around the world. Sincere apologies for the little blackout. We have had some technical difficulties here throughout, but we have worked really hard to get ourselves back online. So we thank you for your patience and your continued patience as we fix those minor issues to bring you our Wakaama coverage. But stay tuned, there is more racing to come. Kia ora mai anō tātou. Again, our sincere apologies for the blackout previously. We have had some technical issues here at Lake Dorney, but we implore you to continue on. We will be providing you with some more races coming up shortly, and there will be some finals races for everyone to watch. Kia ora. Start line for the Master 40 V1500 Heat 3 of 4 as they get underway. A great start from Helen Rudd of Great Britain out in lane 9, but this is how they line up. Lane number 2, Ranj Rapana from New Zealand, Machiko Kagayama from Singapore in lane number 3, Tui McCall, New Zealand, lane number 4, Maria Fischer from Germany in lane number 5, Marjorie Ramos Valenzuela from Chile in lane number 6, Dayon Rossi from Brazil in lane number 7, Cynthia Maingret from New Caledonia, lane number 8, and Helen Rudd from Great Britain in lane number 9. She was off to a good start in lane number 9, but it is Ranjarapana, New Zealand, lane number 2, and it looks to be Tui McCall from New Zealand in lane number 4. These two will be battling it out as they start making their way up to the 250 metre mark. It's potentially one stroke between them, with Ranjarapana ahead at this stage, but let's not rule out this lady in lane number 4, Tui McCall from New Zealand, as they make their way up to this 250 metre mark. Tui McCall is just starting to put a little bit more strength and really pulling that waka through. She is 1 or 2 strokes ahead now at the 250 metre mark. Tui McCall from New Zealand starts to pull away. Ranjarapana's got a little bit of work if she wants to keep up with this lady. Out in lane number 8 by the looks, New Caledonia, Cynthia Maingrape, as they make their way down the course. 3, 4, 5 strokes potentially between numbers 1 and 2. Out there in lane number 4, Tui McCall, and in lane number 2, Ranjarapana from New Zealand. Those two are first and second for this Master 40 V1 500, Heat 3 of 4. And here in lane number 8 by the looks, closest to us, Cynthia Maingrape from New Caledonia looks to be coming in 3rd place at this time. But the two ladies in black out ahead of the rest at the moment. Tui McCall from New Zealand, she's already pulled away to at least 1.5 waka lengths, 1.5 canoe lengths ahead of anybody else in this race, as she looks to seal up heat number 3 of 4 for our Master 40 women, V1 500 meters. No sweat, long and strong from this master of a paddler, showing everyone what she's got. Congratulations. First over the line. Coming in second is lane number 2, Ranjarapana, and closely behind is lane number 8, Cynthia Maingrape from New Caledonia. is heat 4 of 4 of our Master 40 women V1 500 meters. They are making their way up to that start line on the flags at the moment. Some nice pedaling up to the line by our ladies. Let's see who is where. Sandrine Molene from France in lane number 2. Marta Terra Porto from Brazil in lane number 3. Kate Kaufman from the USA in lane number 4. Vanessa Patel from Great Britain in lane number 5. Margie Kahokele from Hawaii in lane number 6. Yeni Soto Vidal from Chile in lane number 7. Kathy White from Australia in lane number 8. And Erin Lim from Canada in lane number 9. And it is a fantastic start out there from Kate Kaufman of the USA in lane number 4. She has got off to a great start there, but it is still quite a close race as they've just started. Potentially 50 to 100 meters in, we are starting to see the lady out in lane number 4. I can see Kate Kaufman from the USA pulling out by potentially 1 canoe length, but beside her is Marta Terra Porto from Brazil in lane number 3, still in this race, and to her left, Sandrine Molene from France in lane number 2. They are all in the top 3 at this stage. Third place is probably a little bit of a race between lane number 8, which is Kathy White from Australia, and lane number 2, Sandrine Molene from France, but as they make their way to the 250 meter mark with potentially 20 meters left before that 250 meter mark, it is lane number 4, Kate Kaufman from the USA, who is 1 canoe length ahead of everyone else as they make their way to that 250 meter mark and cross the 250 meter mark. First is lane number 4, Kate Kaufman, then Sandrine Molene from France in lane number 2, and then Marta Terra Porto from Brazil in lane number 3. That's how they line up at the 250 meter mark. Let's see how they go in this last 250 meters. Let's see if these ladies in lanes number 2 and 3 have enough gas in the tank to be able to challenge and pass Kate Kaufman in lane number 4. But these other ladies still in the race. We've still got our ladies from Hawaii. Margie Kahokele from Hawaii, lane number 6. Yeni Soto Vidal from Chile in lane number 7. Kathy White, Australia, lane number 8. Erin Lim, lane number 9 from Canada. They are still paddling, but it is out here in the front. It is those 3 from the closest to you. It is lane number 2, Sandrine Molene from France. Marta Terra Porto from Brazil, lane number 3. Kate Kaufman, lane number 4. As they make their way to the last 75 meters of this race, it is still in lane number 4. Kate Kaufman from the USA out there, but she is being challenged at the moment from lane 2. Sandrine Molene from France is challenging her, but it is the last 10 meters of this race. It is going to be lane 4 who's going to take it out. Lane 4, Kate Kaufman from the USA, then lane 3, but there's a challenge that has just pipped the 3rd place. Lane number 9's come in. Erin Lynn come in from that 250 meter mark, worked really hard, but she's taken the 3rd place from lane number 3, Marta Terra Porto from Brazil. And there you go, lane number 9 there. She came out of nowhere pretty much. Erin Lim, lane number 9. She crossed over the finish line with probably half a stroke ahead of Marta Terra Porto from Brazil. She pipped at the line and she was able to take that 3rd place in this heat 4 of 4. Lane number 7, Dinesh Sezak from Singapore is putting a really good challenge on at the moment, but it looks as though it is lane number 5, Ryan James from Great Britain in this race. Lane number 3, Ioane Papali'i from Samoa. Lane number 2, Jackson Lau from the USA, but lane number 5, Ryan James, Great Britain. He's already nearly 1 waka length ahead of the rest at the 250 meter mark. This man in lane number 7 is his closest rival, Dinesh Sezak, who is from Singapore. They are lining up, but second place lineup, it looks as though it is lane number 2, lane number 3, and lane number 7. Lane number 2, Jackson Lau. Lane number 3, Ioane Papali'i. And lane number 7, Dinesh Sezak. All lining for that second place because no doubt about it, Ryan James in lane number 5 from Great Britain is already 1.5 waka lengths ahead of everyone else as they make their way up to the last 150 odd meters of this race, the Master 40 men V1 500 meters. Lane number 2, Jackson Lau from the USA and Ioane Papali'i from Samoa really battling it out, but it is actually on the other side, which is Dinesh Sezak and even Marcelo Almeida from Brazil, lane number 8, challenging for that second and third spot because lane number 5, Ryan James from Great Britain is out there showing everyone 1 canoe length ahead of everybody else, exactly why he wants to be in the finals for this Master 40 men. But second, third, who's going to be? Lane 8, lane 7 it looks. Lane 8 came back at the 250 meter mark and took it out. Lane number 8, Reese Morgan from Australia. No, sorry, Marcelo Almeida from Brazil taking that third spot. Dinesh Sezak from Singapore, the third spot. Congratulations to these men.
afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Just John Herbert back in the seat at the moment as we are looking at the next race on the water. It's race number 124, the Master 40 Men V1 500 meters. It is a repecharge, second repecharge of the day. They're lined up on the line, not too far away from a start. Here we go, the green flag flies, which is an indication that we have a start in this race on the water, which is race number 124, the Master 40 Men V1 500 meters. Lane 1, Lane 2, should I say, Giovanni Sacconi from Australia. Lane 3, Darren Grant, Canada. Lane 4, Mael Carey, Hawaii. Lane 5, Paddy de Mene from New Zealand, Aotearoa. Lane 6, it is Jonathan Grandmont from Canada. Lane 7, Pete Holiday, Great Britain. Lane 8, Anthony Wigmore, Great Britain. Lane 9, Jerome Marino from France. That's the lineup in this race. Race number 40, that is Master 40 Men. Race number 124, should I say, the Master 40 Men V1 500 meter step repecharge number 2, as they are now making their way down this first 250 meters. The breeze is still picking up. It's grown a little bit stronger throughout the day. Again, we watch and see who's coming across that halfway mark. Looking pretty good out there, perhaps. I'm just trying to work them out. In lane 4, Mael Carey from Hawaii. Paddy de Mene from Aotearoa, New Zealand, also in the middle of the race course. Should be the fastest qualifier down there. Or perhaps it's out in lane number 3, Jonathan Grandmont from Canada. Here they come to this halfway mark. Looking pretty good at this moment in time. It's very small on my screen, but perhaps it is Paddy de Mene that came through there at first. Looking good on the outside here. Close to me is Jerome Marino from France. As they come and start heading for home, it's starting to get interesting here. This is when it starts to hurt the lungs, the arms, the back and everything, but you push through the pain barrier because you know what's at the end. It's a place in the final, and that's what they're all aiming for at this moment in time. It's starting to get interesting as they start to head home at this time. They are coming across there. They're still pretty close together. I'm looking up. I'm counting across the lanes, and it's coming on there. Is it Paddy de Mene in lane number 5? Is it Jonathan Grandmont in lane number 6? Let me show you. It's Australia in 2, Canada in 3, Hawaii in 4, Aotearoa, New Zealand in 5. It's Canada in 6. It's Great Britain in 7. It's Great Britain in 8. And it's France out here in lane number 9. Here they come racing for home. Who's got it out there at this moment in time? Perhaps it is there. Paddy de Mene, is it? That's there. Inside him, who got inside him is Mael Carey from Hawaii. Darren Grant is next in line in lane number 3. Closest to you is Giovanni Sacconi. As they come down for this, here we go. It's getting interesting. It is Paddy de Mene that's going to come through there. It's going to be a bun fight for the second and third because it's Paddy at the moment in the lead. And in lane 4, it's Mael Carey and Darren Grant in lane 3 who's going to push up. Paddy de Mene, who's going to come through second and third? It's lane number 4, lane 3 should I say, lane 4 and lane 3 that came through there in a blanket finish there. So that's unofficially how they finish there. Paddy de Mene in 5, Mael Carey perhaps in lane number 4, and then Darren Grant in lane number 3. You just watched race number 124, the Master 40 Men V1 500 meter repecharge number 2.
125, a junior 19 women V1 500 meters. This is another prepper charge race. Janea Seward from Canada in lane number 2. Kota La'a from Hawaii. Jessica Crow from Australia in lane number 4. Tegan Ngataki from New Zealand in lane number 5. Ella Beck from Hawaii, lane number 6. Rio Blue Imperator from Hawaii in lane number 7. Celeste Luna Unduraga from Chile in lane number 8. And Check 1, 2, 1, 2. Race number 126, the Master 70 Women V12 500 meters. It is a straight final. Lane number 4 from Hawaii, 33 Kihei. Lane number 5, Canada. Can you believe the Pacific Spirit? 60L Waikoloa from Hawaii in lane number 6. 31 Hawaiian Hiki no Okihei from Hawaii in lane number 7. And that's how they line up for this 500 meter V12 final. They're lined up, ready and waiting, and it is, can you believe the Pacific Spirit from Canada, who had a really good start. They were right up close to the line. Their closest ones was 33 Kihei from Hawaii, lane number 4. This should be a good race. These women are 70 years young, and they are showing us what they're made of out there on the water for this V12 500 meters. It is a straight final. There are only 4 teams in this, but only 3 will take the medal, so someone's going to miss out today. Hopefully it is not you, but lane number 4, 33 Kihei from Hawaii. They are strong out there. I think they've pulled away just a little bit by probably 1 or 2 seats, which is about 3 or 4 strokes. They are ahead of their closest rivals, Canada. Can you believe the Pacific Spirit in lane number 5? These two are the closest rivals at the moment, so gold and silver looks to be going to them as they make their way up to the 250 meter mark. This is how they sit. It is 33 Kihei from Hawaii, and can you believe the Pacific Spirit from Canada in lane number 5. These two teams making their way down the course at the 250 meter mark. And it would seem that in lane number 4, the 33 Kihei, they look to have a faster return in terms of their paddle stroke, a little bit faster than the Canada team. Can you believe the Pacific Spirit? And it shows, because this waka is slowly but surely inching its way forward each and every stroke, and that is because you can see in their timing the returns of the blade is just that little bit faster than their competitors. So lane number 5, Canada. Can you believe the Pacific Spirit? But there are 2 other teams out there. Lane number 6, 60 leader Waikoloa from Hawaii, and lane number 7, 31 Hawaiian Hiki no Okihei in this race as well. One of those teams will take the bronze medal, but it is a little bit of a challenge for this gold medal, but no doubt about it, this team, 33 Kihei from Hawaii, the Hawaiians have a really good way with these waka on the straights. They are really, really fast, and they are showing this in this race of the Master 70 women with at least 1 canoe length ahead of anyone else. It is lane number 4, 33 Kihei, who will take the gold medal, silver medal to Can You Believe the Pacific Spirit, or can you believe it? From Canada, lane number 5, and coming in 3rd place at this time, it looks as though it is lane number 7 with at least 1.5 canoe lengths. Lane number 7, 31 Hawaiian Hiki no Okihei from Hawaii will take the bronze medal. Please give a warm round of applause to our 70 women, Master women, crossing the finish line. Lane number 6, 60 leader Waikoloa, number 4 from Hawaii. Straight final, there you have it. 33 Kihei from Hawaii, 234.82. Canoe Believe, the Pacific Spirit from Canada, coming in second at 239.15. And 31 Hawaiian, Hiki no Okihei, coming in third with 255.86. This is the semi-final V1 500 meters for our open men. V1 500 semi-final number 1. Lane number 2, Jimmy Okura from France. That is lane number 2. Benjamin Jeffrey Chow from Canada, lane number 4. Casey Ngataki from New Zealand, lane number 5. Titoan Puo from New Caledonia, lane number 6. Tupu King, lane number 7 from New Zealand. Jared Itty, lane number 8 from New Zealand. And Ollie Thompson from Great Britain in lane number 9 as they make their way to the start line for this semi-final 1 of 2. Close start here from our men in the open men V1 500 semi 1 of 2. The red flag is up. The red flag was up. That was a really close race for our men in the open men V1 500 semi-final 1 of 2. A strong start there. All of the men are at least half a pedal ahead of each other. It is a really close race. In the middle there, it is Casey Ngataki from New Zealand who pushed out a little bit, but it is going to be in that middle. Casey Ngataki, Titoan Puo from New Caledonia, and even Jeffrey Chow from Canada, lane number 4. They're all in this race at the moment. One giving a little bit of a kick there from Casey Ngataki to get his waka canoe just a little bit ahead of everyone else. Lane number 5, Casey Ngataki from New Zealand. He's pushed his waka out by half a waka length as they make their way in. But watch out for Tupu King in lane 7. He is slowly but surely building up, as is lane number 6, Titoan Puyo from New Caledonia. But look out there in lane number 3, Benjamin Legavre from New Caledonia and Jimmy Okura from France. He pushed his way through in the semis. He looks to be second at the moment, with Tupuria King coming in a close third. But these two men have to pick it up if they want to catch this man, Casey Ngataki, who did a little bit of a kick early on to get his waka ahead of everyone. But there is a challenge happening from Jimmy Okura from France. He is showing us in this last 250 meters that he wants it. He is really putting in the pressure now on this man, Casey Ngataki, in lane number 5, as they make their way down to the last 150 meters of this open men's V1 semi-final 1 of 2. He's at least the waka length ahead, but it is close still as they come for that second place. Tupu King from New Zealand pushing through, pushing his waka through. He's potentially coming third place at the moment, but there's still a challenge from his inside, which is Titoan Puyo from New Caledonia. But out there pushing ahead is Casey Ngataki with a challenge from Jimmy Okura from France as they make their way to the end. Jimmy Okura, France, lane number 2. Lane number 5, Casey Ngataki from New Zealand. Who's going to take it out for this first semi-final? It is going to be Casey Ngataki, and out there second place, lane number 2, with a close third from lane number 7, Tupu King from New Zealand. And there you have it, Casey Ngataki with a 2:26.22 coming in first. Jimmy Okara from France with a 2:27. And Tupu King with a 2:28 from New Zealand, third place for the semi-final 1 of 2. Our next race out on the water is the Open Men V1 500 semi-final 2 of 2. Lane number 2, Martin Bidet from Germany, Bruno Zlatar Quintans from Chile in lane number 3, Juan Ali from Brazil in lane number 4, Albert Menguet from New Caledonia lane 5, Jose Hidalgo Ica from Rapa Nui lane 6, Reginaldo Birdbeck from Brazil lane number 7, lane number 8, Penitiri Mataua from France, and George McLeod in lane number 9. But it is out there in the middle of the field. Looks as though it is lane number 5, Albert Menguet from New Caledonia, leading the pack, leading the charge at the moment. He has picked up his pedal rate a little bit faster than the others at the moment. He's put a little bit of a kick in there, but he is closely being followed on his right by Jose Hidalgo Ica from Rapa Nui in lane number 6. Lane number 6, lane number 5, and lane number 4, Juan Ali from Brazil. Lane number 4, they are still in this, but he is pushing out as they make their way to the 250-meter mark. Lane number 5, Albert Menguet from New Caledonia crosses the 250-meter mark with at least 3/4 of a boat length ahead of everyone else. He is now just long and strong, cruising a little bit, where the other two on his right and left have just started picking up the cadence, picking up their returns in their paddle strokes to try and catch this man, Albert Menguet from New Caledonia. Jose Hidalgo Ica from Rapa Nui challenging in at this moment. There's going to be a really tight race for that second place at the moment between Jose Hidalgo Ica Rapa Nui and Juan Ali from Brazil, lane 6 and 4, as they make their way to the last 100 meters. This is when the hard work really gets into play and really starts to show. Lane number 6, Jose Hidalgo Ica from Rapa Nui, making his way down. Albert Menguet from New Caledonia is ahead. He is going nice, long and strong. He's slowed down a little bit, really just cruising as he makes his way to the end of this race. But the other two, is it going to be lane 4? Is it going to be lane 6? Who's going to take it for that second spot? Lane 4, lane 6, and it looks as though it may have just been lane 4. Juan Ali from Brazil by 0.2 of a second. Some great racing from our Open Men for the V1 500 semi-final 2 of 2. And there you have our results. Martin Bidet from Germany, Chile, Bruno Zala Quintas, and Juan Ali from Brazil taking that third spot. we have race 129, our junior 16 women V12 500 meters. This is a straight final, and we have two teams in this race. Ngā Hoi Horo, Team Tiare in lane 5, and 31 Hawaiian from Hawaii in lane 6 as they make their way to the start. The Aotearoa team, the New Zealand team, Ngā Hoi Horo, off to a great start. They've started right on the line. They got themselves out, putting a little bit of a kick in at the moment. The Hawaiians are just long and strong at the moment as they make their way along the race course. This is the start. First 50 meters, this New Zealand team, Ngā Hoi Horo, Team Tiare, have pushed out ahead of everyone else. Well, the only other competition in this race at the moment. They are at least 5 seats of a waka ahead of Hawaii, 31 Hawaiian. If Hawaii wants to take this gold medal from Ngā Hoi Horo have really come out strong to start off with. So, if the Hawaiian team wants it, they're going to have to pick it up. They have close to 400 meters left in this race. I'm sure all of these women have been working hard throughout their summers and winters for these races. But this team from New Zealand, Ngā Hoi Horo, Team Tiare, they are leading the charge. They want that gold medal as they make their way to the first 250 meters of this race. No doubt about it, with at least 1.5 waka lengths, 1.5 canoe lengths ahead of the Hawaiians. The New Zealand team are in a comfortable lead as they make their way down the last 250 meters of this course. And if you notice the difference between these teams, you can see that the rate of return, where the paddle returns quick snapbacks from this team in black from New Zealand, is a little bit faster than the Hawaiians. The Hawaiians have a beautiful stroke. They go nice and long through the water, but the New Zealanders do the same thing, but their rate of return is much quicker, which means they're able to get more strokes in than their rivals at this stage, and it's beginning to show with at least 2 canoe lengths ahead of anyone else. This team from Ngā Hoi Horo, Team Tiare, are showing us a classy race, classy paddling from this team in the 500 meters as they make their way to the last 10 meters of this race. Your world champions for 2022, it is from Aotearoa, New Zealand, lane number 5, Ngā Hoi Horo, Team Tiare. Coming in second place with the silver medal is 31 Hawaiian from Hawaii in lane number 6. Race number 130, our Master 50 Women V1 500. This is semi-final 1 of 2. Our ladies are on the line, ready to go in this 500-meter race. They've already been through the heats. This is now the semi-finals, and they will determine who will make it in as the fastest qualifiers for the finals. In lane number 2, Kenny Mays from Great Britain. Lane number 3, Ariana Gordon-Glassford from New Zealand. Mel Durbin from Canada in lane number 4. Emma Morgan, Australia, lane number 5. Trisha Corliss from Great Britain in lane number 6. Jan Dixon, New Zealand, from lane number 7. Siobhan Thomas from Great Britain in lane number 8. And Steph Ciaris from the USA in lane number 9. But it is out there in lane number 5. Emma Morgan from Australia, off to a fantastic start. She is at least half a canoe length ahead of her closest rival in this race, which is Trisha Corliss from Great Britain in lane number 6. These two are 1 and 2, with Mel Durbin from Canada in lane number 4 coming in third place. But there is a challenge still happening around her with Jan Dixon from New Zealand, and also Ariana Gordon-Glassford from New Zealand in lane number 3. There is a bit of a challenge going on here to see who will make it through. But as they start making their way up to the 250-meter mark, there hasn't been much of a change in positions. Lane number 5, still Emma Morgan from Australia. She's ahead by probably about half a canoe length, or less actually. Lane number 6 is really putting the challenge in now. Trisha Corliss from Great Britain is now starting her challenge. What she'll be doing is trying to pull her waka ahead to just get that waka moving a little bit faster. There is another challenge coming from from Mel Durbin actually in lane number 4 from Canada. Emma Morgan was ahead at the 250-meter mark, but the challenge from lanes number 4 and number 6 are now beginning to show. With lane number 4, Mel Durbin slowly creeping her waka, her canoe ahead of everybody else, at least 2 strokes ahead of everyone else at the moment. And lane number 6, Trisha Corliss from Great Britain is also challenging Emma Morgan from Australia in this last 100 meters. This is the Master 50 Women V1 500. It is semi-final 1 of 2. From here, the progression is to the finals. So Emma Morgan, Trisha Corliss, and Mel Durbin are all fighting at the moment alongside the rest of these ladies to get a good position. Who's going to be first over the line? At the moment, it looks as though Mel Durbin is doing the work and has done enough to get her waka, to get her canoe ahead of Emma Morgan from Australia. And even Trisha Corliss looks as though she may have just pipped her friend there in this race. But out there in lane number 4, Mel Durbin from Canada will take this race alongside lane number 6, and then it's a close call for third place, but lane number 5 will take it. Emma Morgan from Australia coming in third, but these are the ladies that will go through to the finals. Congratulations to you all. It is race 131, the Master 50 Women V1 500 meters. This is semi-final 2 of 2. Our ladies are already lining up at the start flags. I can see one maybe a little bit over, so they'll be back paddling, getting ready for the start of this race. In lane number 2, Kate Rolfe from Australia. Lane number 3, Cheryl Grubeck from New Zealand. Maylene Papuni from New Zealand in lane 4. Robin Marie Cooper from Hawaii in lane number 5. Kamini Jane from Canada in lane number 6. Lynn Christensen, Hawaii in lane number 7. Suzette Gertler, Hawaii from lane number 8. And Larissa Barbosa from Brazil in lane number 9 as this race is underway. A great start from our ladies in this race. They are all in it at the moment, and it is in the middle of the race course. Lane number 5, Robin Marie Cooper. Lane number 6, Kamini Jane from Canada. And lane number 4, Maylene Papuni from New Zealand, is where you should be keeping an eye out, because they were the fastest qualifiers. They are the fastest times as you make your way across the waterways. That's how they line up. You can see it is potentially lane number 6 or lane number 7, Lynn Christensen from Hawaii, challenging some of these ladies in the middle of the course. But it is, as they make their way up to the 250 meter mark, we will see exactly where they are landing. We have our women coming up. It is still really close. At the 250 meter mark, it is Lynn Christensen from Hawaii, Kamini Jane from Canada, I should say, who looks to be ahead of the pack by potentially 2 or 3 strokes as they make their way down the course in the last 200 meters of this race. It's not an easy race, the 500 meters. Some people liken pulling a waka to carrying a dead horse or flogging a dead horse. It's not easy, but if you know what you're doing, if you get the right technique, and you can keep going and going and going, you will get there. And so I applaud all of our paddlers out there today. You've done it for years. You've done it through the rain, the hail, the storm, and now you're doing it through extreme heat here in London, here at Windsor. And so I congratulate you. As they make their way down, it is the middle of the course here. Lane number 5, lane number 4. Lane number 5, Robin Marie Cooper from Hawaii. And lane number 4, Maylene Papuni from New Zealand. These two line up quite close as they make their way into the last 50-odd meters of this race. Out here in lane number 6, Kamini Jane from Canada. She seems to be the one that is really putting the pressure on them. She's pulling really hard, long strokes, pulling that waka ahead. Potentially one stroke between 1, 2, and 3. Is it 6? Is it 5? It's going to be 6, 5, then 4. Lane 6, Kamini Jane from Canada. Lane 5, Robin Marie Cooper from Hawaii. And lane 4, Maylene Papuni from New Zealand. race 132. This is our Master Men's 70s V12 500 meters. It is a straight final. We have a white flag up calling all of the paddlers up to the false start line, getting ready to hold. And we have 4 teams in this straight final. 31 Hawaiian from Hawaii, FCRC Icemen, Pacific 70s, and 33 Kihei. A red flag in the Master 70 men, V12 500 meters. This straight final, our W12s have lined up and they are away. That was a close call from the team from Canada, FCRCC Icemen. They were right on the line, but they were close enough and they got off to a great start as they make their way down. This is a straight final, so whoever wins this takes home the gold, silver, and the bronze. Sadly, someone's going to miss out, but that's the nature of racing. Lane number 4, Hawaiian 31 or 31 Hawaiian from Hawaii. Lane number 5, FCRCC Icemen from Canada. Lane number 6, Pacific 70s from the USA. And 33 Kihei from Hawaii, lane number 7. These are Master 70 men. All of these men are a young, sprightly 70 plus. Some may be older than 70, paddling down in the 70 age group, but all of these men have come for this competition, and we applaud them all as they make their way down. The Canadian team, FCRCC Icemen from Canada, are ahead by at least 5 seats as they make their way to the 250 metre mark. A little bit more, and they'll be 1 canoe length ahead of their closest rivals, who is in lane number 7. And then lane number 4, lane number 7 being 33 Kihei from Hawaii. Lane number 4, 31 Hawaiian from Hawaii. And then our Pacific 70s from the USA coming in slightly behind, but they are still paddling in this race. Cheer them on as they come along this race. It is a final. Our men 70 plus still fit, still healthy, showing us all what this sport is about. This sport is about health. There's wealth and health, and our 70 plus men are really showing that today. As they make their way, this team from Canada, FCRCC Icemen, at least a waka length and potentially a canoe length and a half ahead of anyone else. Lane number 5, they make their way down the course with at least 25 to 30 meters left. They are still picking up the pace a little bit more, getting themselves across the line. It is the team from Canada, your champions for 2022 for the Master 70 men, FCRCC Icemen. Gold medalists coming in second now with the silver medal is lane number 7, 33 Kihei from Hawaii, and lane number 4 with the bronze medal, that is 31 Hawaiian from Hawaii. And our last team crossing the line at the moment, Pacific 70s from the USA. Cheers to you all. And the results, FCRCC Icemen from Canada, 220.96, 226.39 was 33 Kihei, and 228.82 was 31 Hawaiian, second and third from Hawaii. Race 134, our Open Women V1500. This is repecharge 1 of 2. In lane number 2, we got Kayla Boston from Canada. We got Kia Quichoco from Guam. In lane number 3, Sofia Masotti Duarte from Chile. In lane number 4, Nicola Howie from Australia. In lane number 5, Luana Vitorazzo from Brazil. In lane number 6, Zoe Chesney from USA. In lane number 7, Lindsay Shank from Hawaii. Lane number 8, Vanessa Patel from Great Britain in lane number 9. And lane number 4, Sofia Masotti Duarte from Chile, showing everybody. But it's Nicola Howie ahead of everyone else after the first 100 odd meters. At least 2 canoe lengths ahead of everyone else. Closest rival seems to be in lane number 2, Kayla Boston from Canada, as they make their way down. Lane number 6, Luana Vitorazzo from Brazil. Exceptional paddling here from lane number 6 from the Brazilian. She is out streets ahead of everyone else as they make their way to the 250 meter mark. No doubt about it, she just has to continue with this pace, continue on her lane, and she is likely to make it through to the next round of the Open Women's V1 500 meter racing. She is well ahead in the middle of the course, but over there beside her, it looks as though Nicola Howie is potentially coming second, with third place sitting out there in lane number 2, Kayla Boston from Canada, as they make their way down the runway, down the courseway. It is this lady from Brazil, Luana Vitorazzo, who is 2-3 canoe lengths ahead of anyone else. She had a brilliant start. She was able to get out of the blocks really quickly, and she's maintained that work rate. She's maintained that effort all the way through. But there is a challenge happening here from potentially lane number 7 or lane number 8. Lindsay Shank from Hawaii is really putting the pressure on Kayla Boston and Sofia Masotti Duarte and Nicola Howie as they make their way through. Second place is going to be a bit of a tight competition here, but as they make their way to the end, no doubt about it, lane number 6, she's already started to pick up her rate. She is ahead of everyone else. Luana Vitorazzo from Brazil, nicely done from this paddler from Brazil. Lane number 6 with 2 to 3 canoe lengths ahead of everyone else. A class act, but who's it going to be in second place? Is it going to be lane 4? Is it going to be lane 8? Lane 4 takes it out, and lane 8 pips lane 2 for the post. Lane 8, Lindsay Shank from Hawaii takes that third spot. We have a red flag for our Open Women V1 500 Repecharge 2 of 2 as they make their way up to the start line, ready to go. Let's have a look who is in what lane. January McAlbin from Singapore in lane 2. Rachel Elliott from Great Britain. Oh, we have a black flag indicating someone is over the line before the start. They will have to back pedal if they want to still be in this race. Black flag down. We are ready to go, and we are into a green for this Repecharge 2 of 2. January McAlbin from Singapore, lane number 2. Rachel Elliott from Great Britain in lane number 3. Christy Claus from Singapore in lane number 4. Cynthia Mangate from New Caledonia in lane number 5. Erin Lim, Canada, lane number 6. Daniela Dillon from Brazil in lane number 7. Kaleko Makua from Hawaii, lane number 8. Ingrid Sapel from Hawaii in lane number 9. Excellent racing out there from lane number 4 and 5. Cynthia Mangate from New Caledonia is really putting it in there at the moment. She had a really good start, but there is a challenge coming from beside her, which is Christy Klaus from Singapore. She is ahead by potentially 1 or 2 strokes at the moment. Lane number 2 is still in this race. January Milgalbin from Singapore, but ultimately in the lead by at least 1 canoe length. There are 2 in the lead at the moment with at least 1 canoe length between them and anyone else behind them, and that's lane number 4 and number 5. Christy Klaus from Singapore and Cynthia Mangate from New Caledonia. These 2 are lining it up as they make their way to the 250 meter mark, and at the 250 meter mark with 2 strokes ahead, it is Christy Klaus from Singapore, lane number 4, followed by Cynthia Mangate, and then in comes lane number 7, Daniela Dillon from Brazil, and out there in lane number 3, it looks to be Rachel Elliott from Great Britain. This is how they line up as they make their way past that 250 meter mark, and in this last 250 meters, anything can happen. It's all about how much you want it, how much more strength you've got to put in just to get yourself over the line. Lane number 5, Cynthia Mangate from New Caledonia, and lane number 4, Christy Klaus from Singapore. It looks as though lane number 4, Christy Klaus, has already pushed herself ahead of her closest rivals. Cynthia Mangate from New Caledonia is already 1 canoe length behind, and it looks as though out here, Daniela Dillon from Brazil coming in in lane number 7, coming in 3rd at the moment in this Open Women's Repecharge. It's getting strong out here. Come on, cheer on our ladies as they make their way through. This is the last 50 to 75 meters of the race, and lane number 4, Christy Klaus from Singapore, is really putting in the effort at this stage, but there is a challenge coming from lane number 5, Cynthia Mangate, and it potentially is for time, but she is putting in the hard yards now in this last little bit, but no doubt about it, with 1 canoe length ahead of anyone else in this race. Lane number 4, and she is very happy with that. Christy Klaus, Cynthia Mangate, and then lane number 7, Daniela Dillon, followed closely by lane number 3, Rachel Elliott, and lane number 6, Erin Lim. We have a white flag for this Junior 19 men V12 500 meters straight final. It is a straight final, so whoever takes this will be the world champions. We have a red flag. In lane number 3, we've got H. Lokahi from Hawaii. Horota Wakaama, Tornado Sirens from New Zealand in lane number 4. 31 Hawaiian from Hawaii, lane number 5. 4 Lanikai from Hawaii, lane number 6. Ngā Hoi Horo Black Broncos from New Zealand in lane number 7. And Hui Hoa from Brazil in lane number 8. We have a team over the line at the start with black flag, holds them up. They're all behind at the moment. Let's see if this race can get underway, and it is underway. This should be a great race to determine who will be this year's world champion. We cannot determine anything because there are no seedings, but this team out here from Brazil, Hui Hoa, had a really good start. They are ahead at the moment. They're potentially one stroke ahead of second place getters at the moment, which is Horota Wakaama, Tornado Sirens from New Zealand. In lane 4, some great racing as they get out of the blocks. But lining up at the moment, it is this team in pink, Hui Hoa from Brazil, who is ahead, and it is only by one stroke at the moment. It is going to be a great race as they make their way to the 250 meter mark for this V12 Junior 19 men straight final. As they make their way down the course, the pressure is on between two teams right now. It is neck and neck, stroke by stroke, and it is that team from lane number 4, New Zealand, Horota Wakaama, Tornado Sirens. They are ahead by one stroke at the moment. It is going to be a battle for first place. Who's going to take the gold? Who's going to get the silver? Third place at the moment looks to be the team from lane number 7, Ngā Hoi Horo Black Broncos, but it is on at the moment. This team from New Zealand is just starting to pull away. Looks like they've just started to put in a little bit more strength, pulling their waka through as they make their way to the last 50 meters of this race. A strong response now from this team from Brazil, Hui Hoa. They are really neck and neck. It is one stroke between them, but it looks as though it is going to be out there in lane number 4, the New Zealand team at the moment. But now there is a challenge coming. This team has just picked it up. Lane number 8, Hui Hoa. Who's going to take it? By one stroke, it will be Horota Wakaama, Tornado Sirens. That is a really close race. Hui Hoa, Brazil, likely to take that second spot with the silver medal. It was half a stroke between them. Whew, there's some great racing out there. Horota Wakahoe, Tornado Sirens from New Zealand celebrating that win. We're going to go to a replay shortly, but the results, New Zealand, Horota Waka Tornado Sirens, 2 minutes and 88, 201.01 was the second team, which is Hui Hoa, I thought it was, but it's coming up saying that it's actually the other New Zealand team, Ngā Hoi Horo Black Broncos. And third place for Lanikai from Hawaii. Unofficial results, we'll get those checked. as they make their way to the start line. We have 5 waka, 5 canoes ready to go. We're only one slightly back, but it should be ready to start this race. It is our Master 50 men. In lane number 2, Scott Ball from Canada, Carlos Jose Filho from Brazil in lane number 3, Andres Streuli Molina from Chile in lane number 4, Christophe Javi from France in lane number 5, Ross Gilray, New Zealand, lane number 6, Alexandre Kumeida from Brazil in lane number 7, Hobie Beck in lane number 8 from Hawaii, and Ben Fino from Samoa in lane number 9. But as they make their way down the course, it is out there in lane number 6, Ross Gilray, who is ahead by 1 or 2 strokes at the moment, but being challenged by Hobie Beck from Hawaii in lane number 8. This is the semi-final, so whoever the top qualifiers are for this will make it into the final and will get a seeding in the final for our Master 50 men's W1 or V1 competition. It is still really close. There's only 1 or 2 strokes between them. The New Zealander is ahead by a tiny nose, a smidgen at the moment, but there's a challenge coming from Christophe Javi from France at the moment at the 250 meter mark, but keep an eye out on lane number 2, Scott Ball from Canada. He is still in the race, and you never know, he is currently sitting in 3rd place as they make their way down the course. Out here on the wider side, which is Ben Fino from Samoa, still in the race, still pushing to try and get a placing here out in lane number 9, but it is lane number 5, Christophe Javi from France, who is out ahead at the moment, but is being challenged by Ben Fino from Samoa, who has taken the 2nd place from the New Zealander, Ross Gilray from New Zealand at the moment. As they make their way down into the last 75 metres of this race, the man out there, Christophe Javi from France, has started to pick up his pace and really got his waka moving as they make their way to the last little bit of this race. Lane number 9, Ben Fino from Samoa, has just challenged everyone else. I think he's ahead by 1 stroke, coming 2nd, but lane number 5, Christophe Javi from France, will take out the semi-final 1 of 2, and then it will be a close call as to the 2nd place. I couldn't tell you whether it was lane 8 or lane 6, and then lane 2, but lane 8, Ben Fino from Samoa, lane 6, Ross Gilray from New Zealand, and then Scott Ball from Canada in lane number 2. We have a red flag for our Master 50 Men V1 500 semi-final 2 of 2. This is race 138. In lane number 2, we've got Joe Mitchell from Great Britain. Lane number 3, Murray Marquette from New Zealand. Lane number 4, John Tootie Hodges from New Zealand. Lane number 5, Patrick Baynet from France. Lane number 6, Jim Forty from Hawaii. John Forty from Hawaii in lane number 7. Bertrand Schmidt from New Caledonia in lane number 8, and Tamas Mihalyi from Canada in lane number 9. But it is John Tootie Hodges off to a great start in this race from New Zealand. He is already 1 canoe length ahead of his closest rivals. That closest rivals seems to be lane number 2, Joe Mitchell from Great Britain. But out here, the Hawaiians, Jim Forty and John Forty, I'm guessing brothers. There should be a good competition here because it's just a stroke between them. It's looking great out there on the water. But John Tootie Hodges already 1 and a bit canoe lengths ahead of everyone else before they've even hit the 250 meter mark. And as they hit that halfway mark, they start to show who is where in terms of the placings. And no doubt about it, 1.5 canoe lengths ahead of everyone else. John Tootie Hodges from New Zealand. But it is a close race for that second. And for the rest, out there in lane number 2, Joe Mitchell from Great Britain. We've got Murray Marquette from New Zealand in lane 3. Patrick Baynet from France in lane number 5. Jim and John Forty from Hawaii in lane number 6 and 7. Bertrand Schmidt from New Caledonia in lane 8. And Tamas Mihalyi from Canada in lane number 9. This is all of the men in this lineup for the Master 50 men. It is semi-final 2 of 2, so whoever gets through to this makes it through to the finals as they start making their way along the last 100 meters of the course. It is no doubt about it. Out there in the front, John Tootie Hodges, lane number 4 from Aotearoa, New Zealand, at least 2 canoe lengths ahead now. Everyone else is still racing for that second spot. Keep an eye out on Joe Mitchell in lane number 2. He is challenging lane number 5, Patrick Baynet, and also Jim Forty from Hawaii in lane number 6. This should be an interesting run for second place, but easy as for this man in lane number 4. Well, makes it look easy anyway. John Tootie Hodges from New Zealand crosses the finish line with at least 2.5 canoe lengths. But who's going to take this? It's going to be a fight for the second place. It looks like it's lane 5, lane 2, then lane 6. Lane 5 was Patrick Baynet, lane 2, Joe Mitchell, and that was your top 3. And 4th looks like it was Jim Forty.
As I set my goals on being the best that I can be, I want support from people who understand that my culture is what makes me who I am. I want people that will work with me and my community to build our economic wealth. That's HTK Group. With HTK Group, grow and accelerate your business potential.
Coming up next race on the waters, race number 139, the Junior 19 women beat.
You are here in our island home. We are Great Britain Outrigger, and we are delighted to welcome you, the world, to the 2022 International VAA Federation World Sprint Championships.
We're honored to be part of this story that has brought the international community of outrigger enthusiasts in Great Britain. 1978 marked the 200th anniversary of Captain Cook's arrival in the Hawaiian Islands. And Toots, visionary, spotted a great opportunity to mark this anniversary by crossing the English Channel for the first time in a va'a. So our father, Phil Fody, Frenchie Lyons, and Jim Mooney had just acquired the Va'alele. And together with Toots, they embarked on this journey that marked the first ever crossing, the discovered va'a for Great Britain.
And what about paddling do you enjoy the most? So what does it bring to you in your life?
It teaches me about life because sport is the school of life. So we learn how to respect people, to follow the rules, to get in time, and I think it's all about that. And what we most gain is health and mind health, and this is important for us. This is the most.
It's an amazing turnout. How many, roughly how many paddlers are there and from how many countries?
There's 19 countries, 1,550 paddlers, which is
you know, in this difficult time around the world, it's super awesome to have this many people be able to travel around the world. So, yeah.
Well, awesome work. Thank you so much for talking to us today. Any last thoughts?
No, just, yeah, I just can't wait to watch everybody paddle. It's going to be really, really exciting, especially on this venue. Like, it's a, purpose-built rowing, world-class event. Venue.
Put together for the Olympics, correct?
Yeah, 2012 Olympics. It actually was a field, and it took a man 6 years, 6 days a week, to dig it out and become a lake. So yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
All right, well, here we are coming to you live from Eaton Dorney Lake. Tomorrow the racing starts. We'll see you there. Aloha.
Also just have to say this next race on the water, race number 139, Junior 19 Woman V12 500, it's going to be a hot race. There are some absolutely outstanding paddlers in this Junior 19 Woman division, and when we look at that and we look to the future, there are some absolutely world champion paddlers coming up who will go into the open division in the not too distant future. So watch some of these names and watch some of these crews, because my goodness me, it's going to be hot. The other little intrinsic thing about this is there's been no heats in this. This is a straight final, so there's no seeding as far as the lanes go. Any one of these crews could win this race, any one of them. So we look and we wait in anticipation for that. I hope you're getting excited, because I certainly am. I'm so looking forward to this race. Back to you shortly. Let's take our focus up to the 500-meter start line. They've come out, they've been down the canal behind the tower, they've gone underneath the bridge. The Billy Goat's gruff didn't stop them, and so they have made it out to the start line, and they're not too far away from a start. We are going to bring this to you right here and on the shores of Dorney Lake, and we are also sending it out to the world live streaming. We are going to give it every effort to make this a huge race for everyone that is viewing at this moment in time. So let's just wait in anticipation. Here we are. For those who are watching the live stream, this is a straight final. We are so looking forward to this race. Race 139, the Junior 19 Woman V12 500-meter straight final. I've just been saying live to all the audience here on site that one of the funny things about this thing, or not funny, but a little quirk on this, there's been no heats in this race. So there's been no seedings. Usually the fastest qualifiers will go into the middle lanes and the slower qualifiers to the outside lanes, but that's not the case this time. This is a straight final, so we could look at winner coming from any lane. any lane on this lake today. We're looking at waiting for the flags to come up. They're down there. Okay, they're down there at the start line now, ladies and gentlemen. Let's waiting for the the starters to start getting them under starters orders. Oh my goodness, a white flag has been raised, and in the Wakaama or outrigger canoeing term, that means they are under starters orders. They are not asked to anything. Just that white flag indicates to them they must come up to the full start line, which is the line of white boys out there, and they come up there and they pause. What happens next is should be the white flag goes down and the red flag goes up, and then there it is there. They come up to the official start line. It is their responsibility to start behind that start line. It is no verbal commands whatsoever. It is totally flag commands. They drift up to that start line, and let's see if they get it hold there. If anyone drifts over the start line, a black flag will be raised. We're waiting. A black flag goes up. Oh, it's a bit of drama before we even start this final. Someone has to back up. We don't even tell them who's over the start line. The black flag goes down. We wait, and there we have it. It is the green flag in this race, which is the indication we have a start in this race number 139, the Junior 19 Women V12 500 meter straight final. Let me tell you who's in this race. In lane 3, they call themselves 31 Hawaiian Hawaii. Lane 4, Horoto Wakaama Manawahine, Aotearoa, New Zealand. Lane 5, Ngā Hoi Horo Team Tiare, Aotearoa, New Zealand. Lane 6, it is 86 Kilohana. It is from Hawaii. Lane 7, it is Tamaki Outrigger Canoe Club, Team Pude from New Zealand. Aotearoa, New Zealand. Here they come down this race course, jumping out to a bit of a lead. It is Horotoa Wakaama Manawahine, have got half a waka length on Ngā Hoi Horo Team Tiare outside them. Inside in lane number 2, we have 31 Hawaii. 31 Hawaiian, they're still thereabouts as well. They're all still thereabouts. They come to the 250 meter. It is now Horota, almost by a waka length. It is beside them, it's Ngā Hoi Horo. Outside them in lane 6, it is 86 Kilohana. They are up there in 3rd position, perhaps dropping back Hawaiian 31 in lane number 3. Let's see how they go as they come down to the business end. Lane 3, Hawaii. Lane 4, Aotearoa, New Zealand. Lane 5, Aotearoa, New Zealand. Lane 6, Hawaii. Lane 7, Aotearoa, New Zealand. Here we go, coming down to the final 100 meters. Oh my goodness, they're putting in the big ones there. It is Manawahine from Horota Wakahoe. Who's going to take the second? Will it be the Hawaiian Cruise? Either side, it is Ngā Hoi Horo Team Tiare. But look at lane number 3. It is 31 Hawaiian. Those are the 3. It is Manawahine. They will take out this race. Gold medal. Who'll take the bronze and silver? Let them come through. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for world champions Manawahine. And silver will go to Aotearoa, New Zealand. Ngā Hoi Horo. And there's 31 Hawaiian. My goodness me. As these other crews come through, Tamaki and Hawaii. Great racing out there. What a wonderful race that was. My goodness, a straight final there. They fought all the way as we wind down. That's awesome racing. You just watched race number 139, the Junior 19 Women V12 500 meter straight final. Oh, definitely great racing out there, fitting way. That is the 3rd to last race that we have here on day number 3 of this, the 2022 IVF World Spring Championships. Back to you soon. Can see the results there. Horoto Wakahoe, Manawahine, they had a nice, almost 5-second lead there. Ngā Hoi Horo Team Tiare came in second there, 2 seconds over, or 1.5 seconds, should I say, over 31 Hawaiian. Great racing. Great racing. Okay, we are racing pretty thick and fast at this moment in time. We are under starters orders for race number 140. It is the Master 40 Woman V1 500. It is a rapid charge race. We'll give you those people, those paddlers' names and where they're coming from very, very shortly. It won't be long. We'll have that race up for you shortly. Oh, they're under starters orders. They're already at the white marker, boys. We're waiting for the red flag to be raised. Up goes the red flag. They will move forward now to the official starting line in preparation for the green. Let's wait and wait for a start, but it hasn't started yet. The green flag will be our indication of that. All coming up, some fruits hanging back a bit. A little bit dangerous with that. Race on the water. This is the Master 40 Woman V1 500 repeaters rapid charge. Lane 2, Kathy White, Australia. Lane 3, Maria Fischer from Germany. Lane 4, Terra Mata Porto from Brazil. Lane 5, Helen Rudd, Great Britain. Lane 6, Stephanie Mullins, Great Britain. Lane 7, Ri Nagasako from Brazil. Lane 8, Kamini Jane from Canada. Lane 9, Alexandra Vimorel from France. That's our lineup in this race number 40. Race number 140, the Master 40 Woman V1 500 meter rapid charge. As they start to come down this race course, I take my eyeballs off my piece of paper and look out the window to see how they're going. Looking pretty good in lane number 2. Kathy White seems to have grabbed a bit of a lead, but very close beside her. Outside her was Maria Fischer from Germany. They seem to be going from the inside lane and out. Drop back a little bit in lane number 4. Marta Terraporta from Brazil, but still up there. Helen Rudd from Great Britain. Let's see where Stephanie Mullins is in lane number 6. We'll see how that goes as we get around there. Oh, looking pretty good there. Dropping back a bit. Perhaps Ri Nagasaki from Brazil. Here we go. We got Jane, Kamini Jane. She's still up there or thereabouts too as they cross the 250 meter mark. But it's definitely in lanes 2 and 3. Kathy White has got the lead by about a quarter of a canoe length. That's all it is from lane number 3, Maria Fischer. They are the two that have sorted themselves at this moment in time. We'll see how it goes from now to the finish. Up there in lane number 5, I think Helen Rudd, Great Britain, perhaps has got third place at this moment in time as they go to a wide shot. That's how it is. Making a comeback in lane number 4, though, from Brazil. Terramata Porto is not going to give it up, and she's grabbed back third place as they go backwards as a forward, stroke for stroke. Still in the lead, it's Kathy White from Australia coming down for the last ones, pushing up, trying so hard in lane 3. It is Maria Fischer from Germany. In lane 4, it is Porto Matatera fighting it out with lane 5, Helen Rudd in Great Britain. Great Britain, Helen's just come up. Also out in lane number 6, Stephanie Mullins from Great Britain is putting in a big effort as they start to come home. It's still out in lane number 2, Kathy White, who's got the lead. Here's Maria Fischer in second, and looking like who's going to get the third. That's going to be the big one at this moment in time with only 20 minutes to go. Come on, let's hear you out there on the banks. Kathy White, she'll come home and take out the win on this one. In second place, Maria Fischer, who's going to take third place. Is it out there in lane number 5? Helen Rudd maybe from Great Britain. Helen just got it by a whisker from a few other paddlers along the way. Oh my goodness. Hey, that was a rapid charge. Wait for the final. Can you believe it? We are on race 141. It is a straight final. What a wonderful way to have our last race on this day number 3 of this, the 2022 IVF Va'a World Sprint Championships here on the banks of Dorney Lake here in Windsor. And the weather, well, what can I say about the weather? Hot. That's probably about it, huh? Hot. And it's been wonderful weather. We've got a bit of a breeze tonight, though. And so hopefully that'll help cool things down as we await all these crews down at the 500-meter line. Be back with you shortly.
Kia ora to everybody back home. We're on the last race of the day. Master 60 men, V12 500 meters.
It is indeed there, Kingy. It's going to be a good one. Again, a straight final. And one of the little quirks about these straight finals, there's been no seedings, no heats. To have fastest qualifiers here at Dorney Lake, the fastest qualifiers go into the middle lanes. Unlike back home in New Zealand, where they go to lane 1 and outwards to lane 8. But there's no seeding, so it does not matter at this moment in time. Any one of these crews can win from any part of this lake, this race course. We're looking forward to this at this moment in time. I hope you're getting excited. I'm looking across from the tower here. I see people down on the banks there. I want to hear you. We are behind double glazed glass, but I want you to make the glass rattle as this race starts to get up there. We keep watching down at the 500-meter mark, and everyone's coming out there. I see a few more people still in the canal, a few more crews, should I say. So it's going to be a little while there. They haven't all gone under the bridge yet. I'll get back to you shortly.
We have a stacked field for this race. The wind has picked up as well. It's heading straight down the course. I would say that there's no advantage from being in an inside or outside lane. I would say it's pretty fair all around. What's your whakaaro there?
Oh, I totally agree with you, Kingy. No advantage to any lane here. The wind is blowing straight up the race course. Everyone's got a headwind. Pretty even course. The wind has picked up, certainly from this morning. There was no wind this morning. We look down to the 500-meter start line. Look at all those crews. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 crews down there. 8 Master 60 men, V12 500 meters. Add that up. How big is it? How many people are there paddling down there? 8 12s, you mathematicians out there. That's how many men, Master 60 men, are down there. They must be getting amped up. They would have been amped up already. We are waiting to see the white flag be raised. Not far away now. Waiting in anticipation. We are live streaming. We are commentating live from here on the banks out of the tower here at Dorney Lake. So we are trying to involve as many people as possible in the 2022 IVF World Sprint Championships. And, you know, at the end of the day, we've had a few hiccups with the live stream, but we have been improving. We are always in for continuous improvement. And so we are going to get even better I'm not improving my language, am I? But they are waiting up there. We waiting again in anticipation. They're lining up. White flag, ladies and gentlemen. We are not too far away from a start this race on the water. It is race number 141, the Master 60 Men V12 500 meters. It's a straight final. There will be world champions crowned at the end of this race. Gold, silver and bronze medals will be allocated out. Oh, look at that, the beautiful sight to behold as they line up on that 500 meter course. I can't believe it. Here we go. All right, keep watch on. Let's wait for the flag. To indicate we have a start in this next race on the water. Race number 141, the Master 60 Men V12 500 meters. It's a pretty even start across there. My goodness, there's power going into the water now. It is a straight final. Lane 2, it is Namalukama from Hawaii. In lane number 3, Club Outrigger with Sunday, Australia. Lane 4, Horota Wakama Tokomaru, Aotearoa, New Zealand. Lane 5, Baisuna Va'aparati from Brazil. Lane 6, it is there, Salish C, Fort Langley, Canada. Lane 7, PRCC Black, Great Britain. Lane 8, it is Aratika Tipi Haide Matua, Aotearoa, New Zealand. And rounding off this field we have there, it is Iceman Salish C from Canada. And Canada are doing very well on this lane number 9. It's lane 9 and lane number 1. Canada came across first in a whisker from Hawaii in lane number 2. Can you believe it? I told you, anywhere on this race course they can win from. Canada up there. It's Canada and Hawaii have got themselves a lead. It is Australia still up there as well. Inside them we have there, outside them should I say, New Zealand, Horota Wakahoe. Oh my goodness, Canada, maybe they've got their nose in front from lane number 9. And then the lane number 2 we've got Hawaii. As they push up, they still got the lead as they go through the marker, boys. It is out there, Aotearoa, New Zealand, Horota perhaps got 3rd place. Inside them, it is Australia pushing for Horota into that 3rd place. It is still Canada. They advance in their lead. How are they doing this as they come down? Canada, Hawaii, Aotearoa, get on your feet, ladies and gentlemen. It's that close. Canada still there. Hawaii, it's in this lane out here. Canada, Hawaii, Aotearoa, Australia, Canada, Hawaii, Aotearoa. My goodness me. What a race. What a race indeed. A fitting way to end today's racing of day 3 of this, the IVF 2022 World Sprint Championships. My. Let me wind down. Thank you, everyone. Just a reminder, there will be medal presentations at least 20 minutes away. Well done, well done. What a great day. What a great day at Dorney Lake. Here, it's just been fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. We'll see you over at the medal presentation area shortly. Oh. There you are, live streamers. That's me from Lake Dorney.
As I set my goals on being the best I can be, culture is what makes me who I am. I want an organisation that will work with me and my community to build our economic wealth. And that's HTK Group. With HTK Group, grow and accelerate your business potential.